Okay, there you go. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Michael Tyson. My show is called Your Community Natural Health Club. And one of my missions is to get everyone to start their own club, or who needs help starting their club. I will be there to help assist you. And the reason why I think clubs are good because we all have family, friends, relatives, co-workers who all had health problems. And this is the only way we can bring our community together so we can learn and teach each other how to help ourselves, like each one teach one. So when I started out, I learned a lot from other people, and I learned so much from other people. And I'm just amazed how much I learned just by forming a group. I actually formed a couple of groups, and it went really well. We all learned different recipes. We learned like health protocols. We did health challenges and a lot more other things. And it just grew. So that's one of my missions for me to do is help everyone start a health club because that's the only way we can get our family and friends together. We know so many people that are sick, who have health problems, who do not eat right, and just they need someone to help them out. So it's better off to start off as a group. So that's one of my missions for this health club group. So today I'm going to talk about something that I've learned through a lot of times I had like a lot of bad habits. I would eat late at night, and one day I decided, you know what, I'm not going to eat late anymore. So I started practicing it, and I noticed things started happening in my body. I actually slept very well. I went through a healing process while I was healing good. I was feeling good, good night's sleep. So I started doing more research on it. So I realized when you don't eat at night, your body goes into a super healing mode. And we all need to take advantage of that. It's so easy. Well, not for a lot of people, especially people who eat a lot. So when you don't eat at night, your body starts repairing things in your body, especially your intestines, your liver, your kidneys, all your organs. That's the time when your body can regenerate and then also produce growth hormone. It only can do that when you don't eat late at night. So I experience it, and I'm like, wow, it really makes a difference. I notice when I do eat late at night, I would wake up hungry, and I feel like I haven't slept. So by not eating at night, your body goes into a super healing mode, and I would like everybody to try it. Especially if you have a club, you can do it as a club and see how you feel. And when I go to the doctor, they see, good checkups, they see good results, they see that I'm getting better. I'm like, oh, okay, I said I need to pass this on to other people so they know. So one of the other things, what I do, I tell people, when you go to the doctor or get a checkup, or if you go for any kind of reason, have them do a blood test so you can have a record of what's going on with your life and through your health journey. So one of the things when they do the blood test, they can tell a lot of things about your body, about your blood test, and you need to learn like how to read the blood test. It takes time. So when the doctor do a blood test, they can tell things like, like if you have allergies, infections, how is your blood level, and this is what they do when they test your blood out there. They could tell whether you could take this particular medicine, or they could say, oh, the blood is not that good because we can't give them this medicine. So it's very important to try to get a blood test and try to read it. So, I could tell, like, also when you don't eat at night, the body goes into autophagy. And autophagy is the body get rid of bad cells, and cells don't need to be there, for example, like cancer cells. And also going to detect like growth hormones level in your blood. It also helps you lose weight when you don't have food in your stomach, especially sugar, because what happens, the body tries to burn sugar first, and then if you don't have enough sugar, it will use fat and carbs. So that's a good thing. It also helps you burn calories at night when you don't eat late at night. So that's why it's excellent to get a blood test. Every time you get a blood test, have a record of it. Then once you start getting records of it, you can see what things are improved, what things don't improve. You can ask your doctor when you have a blood test, well, what's the most important things? What are you looking at? What's bad? And circle it on your copy, and that way you know what's going on in your body. So we need to learn more of our bodies, and, a blood test is very important. Another test is a urine test. The urine test tells you all the things your body's like. You have too much protein in your urine, or you might have blood coming out, and that's very good to know. And it also does other things as tests. So a blood test and a urine test is excellent for you to learn how your body is doing and what condition it is. And also, you can learn what you need to do to help your condition out and help improve your blood and see what's going on. And your doctor will see it and tell you, so, the glucose level is going down, your sugar is not so high, and things like that. So it's very important to not eat late at night. That's so important because, like I said, your body produces a lot of growth hormones when you don't eat late at night. And also, your body goes into the superhuman mode. It repairs your intestines, your liver, which is your hardest working organ in your body, your kidney, which is a cleanser, your liver is a cleanser, your intestines, that's where you digest food and get the nutrients out of the food. So it actually heals those things. And it's so very important that of all the organs in the body, the liver, your kidney, and your intestines and your pancreas, those are very important because once one of those go offline, it affects all the other organs. So it's very important that we need to get a blood test, urine test, have a copy of each time we get it so we have a record. I'll teach you how to do your research on the blood test and the urine test so you can see your improvement and how you can improve it. So I know it's hard for some people, but we can retrain ourselves. We were trained since we went to school. So we need to learn how to retrain ourselves. I had a hard time with that, but I'm doing very well, teaching myself different things, and I would like to teach other people also. So that said, it's very, very important to get a blood test and work with a good doctor that can explain the blood test to you and your urine test and can tell you what you should look out for. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Next, I'm going to talk about nutrition. Like I did research on what's the most nutritious thing I can get and get it really fast. So I did my research and I said, well, wheatgrass is supposed to be very good. So I did my research on the wheatgrass and I said, you know what, let me go to the store and buy wheatgrass. So I would go to the store and buy wheatgrass and I noticed I didn't like it. I would try to drink more of it and I just could not take more of it. I only could take like 1-2 ounces at the most, mostly just 1 ounce. And then half the time it would make me feel nauseous. And I couldn't understand that, so I kept taking it, the 1 ounce. And I said, it's got to be another way because I want to take more. So I did more research and I found this company in Canada that sell frozen wheatgrass. And they said our wheatgrass is twice the potency of the one you can buy in a health food store. So that kind of got my attention. I said, well, let me call this company up and see why is theirs twice as more nutrition, because theirs are frozen. So when you go in the health food store, theirs are fresh. So I called them up and I said, why is your wheatgrass double the potency of the one you get in the store? And they said, well, because we grow ours outside where the root can grow longer, like 6 to 10 inches long or more, so it absorbs more nutrition. The ones in the stores, they grow in those 2-inch trays. So their roots can only grow 2 inches. So that's why the one in Canada is double the potency. I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I asked them all these questions. I'm like, when I go in the health food store, half the time I feel nauseous. And they told me there's a reason why you feel nauseous. And they told me why. They said the reason why you feel nauseous is because when they grow in those trays, sometimes they tend to overwater it and it creates mold. That's why you feel nauseous. I'm like, I know a lot of people that feel that way. I'm going to tell them about it. And I said, matter of fact, I want to order your wheatgrass. So I was asking them all these questions, and they asked me a question. I said, we'd like to ask you a question. I'm like, sure. They said, would you like to be a distributor? I'm like, sure. Why would you want me to be a distributor? They said, because you answer so much questions that nobody never asked us before. So we figured you're very knowledgeable about wheatgrass. So I'm like, okay, So we talked on the phone. They told me this story of how they got into wheatgrass. I think one of their mother was sick, so they actually grew it. It grew so much, they gave it away to their neighbors and stuff. And the neighbors were giving it to their dogs and pets. And they noticed that their pets lived twice as long. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. So I started taking the wheatgrass and felt really good. And I went to the doctor, to get a blood test and checkup and stuff. And I didn't really listen to what they're saying, but a couple of times they just said, your blood work is excellent. I'm like, oh, really? I said, well, maybe it's because of the wheatgrass. They said, every time you come here, your blood work has always been excellent. I'm like, oh, okay. So I started telling other people who have health challenges. And I said, listen, one of my cousins said, oh, he had to get a blood test every month. I said, if you get a blood test every month, something is wrong. I said, do me a favor, order this wheatgrass. When is your next blood test? He said, in 2 weeks. I said, order it tomorrow. When you get it, start taking it. Take 4 to 6 ounces because you have a condition. And you want to see what your blood test is going to be like when the doctor, give you a new blood test. So I said, you know what? Your doctor's going to tell you something. You don't even have to say anything to the doctor. He says, really? He said, okay, I'm going to order. So he ordered 2 weeks fast. And he called me up. He said, you're right. I'm like, what did the doctor say? He said, this is the best blood test I ever had. Whatever you're doing, you need to keep doing what you're doing. So he was just so shocked how his blood test got better within a month. And he started 2 weeks in a month. So I have other friends and stuff. I tell them the same thing who have health challenge. They all tell me the same thing. The doctor said, this is the best blood test I ever had. So when your blood is good, that's when your body can heal. If you don't have good blood, your body's going to have a hard time of healing. So I have about 10 clients. They tell me, you're right. The doctor said this is the best blood test I ever had. Some of the people say, oh, I feel really good, which is great. Oh, I got a lot more energy, which is great. So it's all about the blood. That's how your body's going to heal. If you have trouble, health problem is because your blood is not good. That's what heals your body. Detoxify you, give you nutrition, helps your body rebuild, and that's what blood does. It just has to be good. So I have a lot of people testimonial. Probably in the future, I'm going to have those people who told me their testimonial to come on the show and tell their testimonial by taking the wheatgrass. Because I can't sit here and tell you everybody's testimonial, but I can just only tell you mine. The doctor says, well, they're amazed, like, your blood is really good. You normally, when your blood wasn't good, if you have a condition, we may have to stop it because that drug may be too strong for you, or you're not rebuilding fast enough. So when they do a blood test, they look at all those things, and then they see what kind of medicine or treatment they can give you. So your blood is really bad. They won't even tell you that we can't do this treatment. It will just give you what your blood is capable of doing. So I tell people, take this wheatgrass, And also, I normally don't fast. When I do, I usually fast for one day. And one day I wanted to say, you know what, let me take more wheatgrass to see if I can fast longer. So I fasted one day. I took about, I think, almost 10 ounces that day. And I woke up in the middle of the night. I took it in the morning. I woke up in the middle of the night and says, wow, I didn't even eat today. I didn't even have the urge to eat. That's how potent the wheatgrass is, because when your body craves hunger, it really wants nutrition. And wheatgrass takes 1 minute, liquid wheatgrass takes 1 minute to get in your blood, and most people will feel it in 1 minute. Some people may not even notice it, but they'll just get all this energy, they start doing something, and they realize later, I'm like, oh, it must be that wheatgrass. So when I was fasting, I said, okay, I did one day. I said, okay, let me do 2 days. So I did this 2 days, felt okay. I'm like, okay, let me take more wheatgrass, and let me do 3 days. Did 3 days, and I was just so shocked. I said, I can't believe I did 3 days. And I said, I think I can go a 4th day. And I said to myself, well, no, Michael, you never went 3 days before. So next time, do 4 days. So I stopped, and I was just amazed how I did 3 days of fasting, which I've never did 3 days before. But I remember when I was fasting, I kept saying, Michael, slow down, slow down. You haven't eaten. I was going around doing things, and I would get on the bus instead of walking because I love to walk. So I figure I'm fasting, I need to slow down. And I noticed I would get off the bus, don't even realize it. I'm like, Michael, you're supposed to be on that bus. Maybe you're fasting. I just have so much energy. So I was just shocked about that. So anybody that do fasting, I would tell them, do the wheatgrass, you can go longer. Or even if you haven't fasted before, do the wheatgrass. Is going to help you out a lot. I have friends that work out. I said, listen, if you work out, you should take this wheatgrass. It's going to help you recover fast after your workout. And they tell me, you know what, you're right. I had a little more energy. I recovered faster. So wheatgrass is very potent. So I'll tell people this is the medicine for me for my life. Because so much has happened. I get testimonies from other people. And it's just amazing. So I want to give a little break and see if anybody have any questions before I go on. I'm going to give them my information first. My name is Michael Tyson. If you want to email me, my email is mikemailbox1@yahoo.com. mikemailbox1@yahoo.com. If you want to text me, my number is 929-273-1482. And they also have recordings of past shows on YouTube. You go to Grown Folks Network, and you should see me under either my name, Michael Tyson, or Your Community Natural Health Club. So, anybody have any questions before I move on? About the health club, about the wheatgrass?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, where are you from?
Hi, cuz, this is Vet. This is your cousin, Vet, from Buffalo.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for calling in.
Good, how you doing?
Great.
You're welcome. I'm so excited about this wonderful health club. I am interested in trying to start one in Buffalo. So can you contact me later and give me the information, please?
Sure. It's great because, like, I know you go to church, so I'm trying to get people with the church and also have a club also. Because we know so many people that are sick that we need to do something. Help each other.
Yes. But, so many people with different illnesses, so we need this.
Yes, we do. And that's a scary thing. I realize that it's just so many people are sick that it's like too late to help them. So I'm like, I got to do something. We have to do something. So that's why I came up. We have to start our health club group so we can teach each other. And also, at the end of the show, I'm going to give someone a recipe on how to make pumpkin seed milk. So if you stay on and listen, it is very nutritious. I had someone make it before, well, a couple people make it, and they said, you know what? It almost tastes like milk. I'm like, you know what? It's 10 times more nutrition than milk. It's better than the milk you can buy in the store because that's really garbage. People say, oh, I got some almond milk from the store. I'm like, no, you need to make it yourself. It's 10 times more nutritious. So thanks for you for calling. I know you're a busy person.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, and just so you know, I want to also start on my wheatgrass again because I'm pre-diabetic and I'm trying to stave off those numbers from my doctor putting me on that metformin. So please call me later on this evening about 8 o'clock. Call me about 8 o'clock, please, okay, so we can talk.
Okay.
Okay, cuz. Love you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Anyone have any more questions before I go further? About the health club, the wheatgrass, the challenges we are going to do is not eat late at night. Only if you're, only person who may not be good for is someone who's diabetic or may take certain kind of medications. So if you go to the doctor, I tell people, get a copy of their blood test. It says a lot. Matter of fact, when I first got a copy of my blood report, I have a friend that's an herbalist, and I asked her to read my medical report because I've never met an herbalist that can read your medical report. So she read it, and she said to me, you have a broken rib? I'm like, what are you talking about? It says in your medical report that you had a broken rib. I'm like, no, I don't know anything about a broken rib. So I went back to the doctor, and I'm like, what's this about a broken rib? He said to me, oh, that was an old injury. And I'm like, I don't ever remember breaking my rib. But, like he said, everything's on a medical report. And that's why I tell people, get that medical report, and you may know somebody else that may know how to read it, or you can ask your doctor. Or you can even look it up on Google. So that's so important, especially, our elders and people who are getting older or people who have any kind of condition. And that's one reason why I want to start the club to help people with the medical report. So I would like you all to write down your list of people who you can have join your club, friends, family, relatives, churches, whatever you can get, family, or passing on to others. Like I said, I do have other videos recorded on YouTube. I'll, list that again, afterwards, towards the end of the show. So we need to start this club. That's the only way we can really help ourselves, and our families, especially our families. And like I said, I'm going to have future show people come on, tell their testimonial, because that's really good for people to hear how it helped them out. So I'm going to talk about the two devices that I have for people in the New York area. One of them is called the Beamer. The Beamer is a device that works by frequency, and what it does, it increases the blood flow in your whole body by 30%. How I got into this, somebody invited me to a meeting about the Beamer, and they were giving 3 sessions. So I'm like, okay, let me go test it out. So I always, when I go to things like that, I always bring a friend so we can test it out together and talk about it, what we think. So I got a session. My friend got a session. It was like an 8-minute session. And one of my friends said, you know what? That device did something to me. I'm like, what? He says, I have an old sports injury, and nothing ever helped that. But this session did. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went to another meeting, got another session, 8 minutes. And I took a friend. She had a session. And all of a sudden, she's like, Mike, I had a pain in the side of my back. It's completely gone. I'm like, oh, wow. So at these meetings, they had other people there to give free sessions. And a lot of people there had this device called the Beamer. If you want to look it up on YouTube, BEMER. And YouTube can tell you more than I can tell you on the show. And I told them that, I'm sorry if I got cut off. I told them that this device have a lot of people buy it at the event, and I'm like, why do you buy this device? It's very expensive. And they would tell me their testimonials, and I'm like amazed. So I looked into it more, and there's a device that's made in Germany. And in Germany, they have these devices in their hospitals, in their ambulance, in clinics. They give it to babies. So I'm like, wow. Let's say in the United States, they don't do that. But in Germany, they do. And it's all about increasing the blood flow. It's the blood that heals you. So this device, how it really works, they discovered how animals used to, when they get sick or injured, in the wild, they would lay on the ground. So the scientists are like, what is going on? Why do animals do that? They lay on the ground and they don't eat. But they realize it's a frequency that's coming from the earth that heals, a healing frequency that the animals are attuned to. And they just lay on the ground and don't eat until they heal. So German scientists discovered this, and he made this device called PEMF device, PEMF device. So this device, they have other devices out there, they call it PEMF device, and it increases the blood flow. So he made a device, and he named it the Beamer. And another thing I found out, the astronauts, when they go out in space for a long period of time, they come back, they get really sick. So NASA have these astronauts use this device. And then NASA also asked the company, we would like you to help us build this device in our spacesuit, because when astronauts go out in space, they get really sick. I'm like, oh, so that's the number one reason. I said, well, if NASA realized this is very good, that it must be good, so I invested in it. I started treating people. I got a lot of testimonials. And with Beamer, the company, since I'm a rep, they don't like us telling other people testimonials. So the only testimonial I can tell you is that when I go to the doctor, they say, oh, your blood work is good and you're doing well. And another one, I was treating a client, and she had a cat. So I was treating her, and her cat jumped in her lap. She said to me, you know what? This cat never jumps in my lap. I had this cat for 10 years. And she thought it was so strange. So I thought about it. I'm like, is your cat sick? She says, yes. I said, you know, the cat are attuned to these healing frequencies. And I think that's why the cat jumped in your lap, because it felt that healing frequency coming from the device, and you're sitting on the device. And that's probably why the cat jumped in your lap. So that was my, as a testimonial that I can tell other people. And also the Beamer has a device for horses too, like those expensive race horses. And I was told that those race horses, they line up to get this treatment because they can feel this healing effect on them. So I'm like, wow. So it's good for pets and animals, and I do the treatment in New York and local areas. And I do it with people who have like health parties, depending on how many people they have. I would go to them and, they all get a Beamer treatment and things like that. Okay, and also, what time is it? Okay, have enough time. Also, I have a device called the Foot Detox. You can look that up on YouTube also. And what this device does, it detoxes your body. It's like a 25-minute treatment. You have to put your foot in a pail of water, and I put this device in it, and it gives off a negative, positive energy, a negative energy, and a positive energy. And what it does, I put the device in the water, you put it in the feet there, it detoxes your body. And how they discover this is because people used to go to certain beaches, and they used to say, oh, when I go to these beaches, I really feel good. And somebody knows that a lot of people would say this about these particular beaches. So somebody was studying, like, what's going on with these beaches? People always go to this certain beach and say they feel so good. They have it all over the world, certain beaches, that people feel this way. So a scientist discovered that the salt in the ocean is connecting with our body because we are salt. And then the sun rays is really like electricity. So the sun rays ionizes salt, and the salt, we are salt, so it's ionizes our body. So what's going on is helping our body detox. So that's why these people on these beaches, they feel great. So he made this device. It's been around about almost like 50 years. And usually it was very expensive at the time, so the rich people knew about it and they would get this treatment. So I knew a guy that made this device. So I got one of my friends and I said, well, let's go get a treatment. So we go get a treatment. So he was treating us, 25-minute treatment. And all of a sudden the guy who was treating us said, what is wrong with your friend? I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, I've never seen anybody water turn black. So usually people water turn brown or beige or dark brown. And his turned black. I didn't even look at his water. So I'm like, I don't know anything about this device. So after the treatment, my friend, called me the next day and he said, Mike. I'm like, what? He said, the pain is gone, the pain is gone. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, Mike, every morning when I wake up, I'll have a chest pain, and it may take an hour before it go away. I'm like, well, maybe it'll come back tomorrow. He said, no, Mike, I'm telling you, it's gone. So I started asking questions like, how long you had this? He was like 30-something years old. He said, I had it since I was a teenager. I said, do you remember anything when you was a teenager that happened to you? He said, the only thing I can remember is like, I'm from the islands, and as a kid, they used to let me burn the garbage, and I used to love sitting there smelling the plastic from the garbage. I'm like, oh. I said, well, maybe that plastic builds up in your chest, and that's why your water turned black when you had the treatment. So I'm like, wow. I said, that's amazing. So I looked more into the device, and I bought it, started treating people, and I got all these testimonials like, oh, this lady had a bad knee problem, and she says, oh, my knees feel really good. So I get testimonials like that. People said they felt better. And one day I was at a health expo, and I was treating some people. And I was trying to get people to do a treatment, and I ran into this lady. I asked her if she would like a treatment. She said no. And she left. And then she came back to me and said, I have that device. I said, Miss, let me ask you a question. Why did you buy it? She said, I used to walk with a cane, and now I don't. I'm like, oh, wow. That's an excellent testimonial. And then another lady I met, she would get treatments all the time. I'm like, why do you get treatments all the time? She said, you know why? She said, I smoke a lot of marijuana. One day, I smoked some marijuana. I got a foot detox. That day, after the foot detox, I don't know what the time frame. She said, I went to the bathroom, and my whole bowel movement smelled like marijuana. I'm like, oh, wow, did that really clean you out? So I became a believer in the foot detox, and I do it in the local area. Sometimes I go out of the area when people have groups and stuff. I can go and treat them. So those are the things I do, the detox, the beamer, and the wheatgrass, which I think is very important, and also the health club. I'm like, we have to do this. Yeah, I know family people are sick, have health problems. Let's help them out together. I'm going to give my information out again. If you want to start a health club or help start a health club, let me know. My email is Mike, mailbox1 at yahoo.com. My text number is 929-273-1481. You can text me anytime. You can also listen to my YouTube recorded shows. You can look under the Grown Folks Network. You can make sure you can listen under Michael Tyson, that's my name. Or you can look at Your Community Natural Health Club. Sorry, Your Community Natural Health Club group. So you can look at that. If anybody have any questions, this is your chance. Hello. I know you
Mike,
guys
can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
How are you? Dr. J.
I'm doing. Hey, Dr. J, how you doing?
Wonderful, man. I've been on the call from the beginning.
Great.
Definitely have enjoyed everything that I've heard. And I'm liking what you're presenting concerning this health club because, like you said, each one reach one, each one teach one. And there's so much knowledge out there for all of us to share in. But my question pretty much was centered around the wheatgrass. In your time of using and people who you have found any dealing with Crohn's disease that the wheatgrass was pretty good for?
Yes. Your blood is going to heal any kind of disease.
Mm-hmm.
So what the wheatgrass does, it builds up your blood. Wheatgrass is almost equivalent to the blood. It's just that the blood is higher in chlorophyll, sorry, wheatgrass is higher in chlorophyll, and the blood is higher in iron. But it takes 1 minute to get in your blood, and most people feel it like within 1 to 5 minutes. They start doing stuff and they don't even realize it. Most people don't realize it. They just started doing a lot of stuff. And one of my customers says, you know what? I rode my bike the same day, and I haven't rode my bike in years. I'm like, yeah, most people, it happens to them. They just get all this energy and they start doing things they want to do. But it's excellent. Plus, the doctors can see it in the blood test. They can tell from when you have bad blood to when your blood is really good. If the blood is really bad and they see a change like that, they usually tell you something. Like what my cousin said, oh, the doctor said, this is the best blood test I ever had. Whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. That's what you want to hear from a doctor,
For sure, for sure.
And,
okay, thank you very much, man, and keep up the good work. We really appreciate you. Thanks for giving me the formal.
I just want to say, Dr. J is the only herbalist I know that do house calls, which I thought was great. So if you're in the New York area, email me, mikemailbox1@yahoo.com. I can give you his info. I think it's great because a lot of people can't leave their house for some reason. They're, bedridden, or it's just hard for them to get around. And Dr. Jay, I think that's great what you're doing. Because there's a lot of people who can't walk or just have a hard time. But thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Likewise, and appreciate the plug. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Anyone have any questions? To know my information? Want to know about the health club, the wheatgrass? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a simple recipe. Is seed milk. You can make milk from a lot of different seeds, like pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds. I've made them all. They're very, very nutritious. And more nutritious than any of the nut milks or milks you can get from the store. They're usually 10 times more nutritious. So my favorite is pumpkin seed milk. So I'll try to get a pen and pad or listen to the recordings once it's posted. Buy some pumpkin seed. The best if it's organic, unsalted, unroasted. You want raw pumpkin seeds. You take a cup of raw pumpkin seeds. You soak them in water, using spring water. You can even use distilled water, put a little salt in it. Let it soak overnight. This is any of the seed milk. Pumpkin seed milk, sunflower seed milk, sesame milk. Soak it overnight. Then in the morning, you rinse it. You put it in a blender. And you're going to add 4 cups of water. You get 3 to 4 cups of water. I usually use 4. But you put 1 cup of water at a time. So when you put the first cup of water in there, you blend it up to become a paste. Then you slowly add another cup, blend it up again. Then you add the other 2 cups. You blend it up again. So once it's blended up, you have to strain it. You use a cheesecloth or a very fine strainer. To use a very fine strainer, you're going to have to use a spoon to press it down to strain it. But a cheesecloth is excellent because you can just twist it and squeeze it out with your hand. And if you're going to make a smoothie, you don't really have to strain it. So you could just take it and pour it in a blender, another cup, and put it in another blender or change it, and then make your smoothie, bananas, fruits, maybe a little bit of water. Try it out and see how it tastes. Your sweetener. My sweetener, I usually use fruit. So as a milk, that's when you strain it. So everybody I told how to make this, they tell me it tastes just like milk, a little weaker than a milk. It is very nutritious. And I suggest people, instead of buying store-bought milks, try it yourself. It's so potent that it won't last very long. It will last about maybe 3 to 4 days at the most. So if you're not going to use it right away, what I usually do is put them in little ice cubes and freeze it. And that way you take the ice cubes out and put it in your blender and blend it up. And also you can make, when you're making the milk, you can make a base for a soup. I make raw soups. I usually use the nut milk as a cream to make my soup. But I'll tell you about that in a future show. I'm going to, all my shows, I'm going to try to tell you something on how to make some kind of food that's very easy to make. You can have your kids make it, and pass it on to others. And also have a group where I teach people how to make more things. You know, like I make a raw lasagna. People say, how do you make a raw lasagna? It's, instead of pasta, I use zucchini strips. And I make a cheese from the nuts, a nut cheese. Sauce is pretty much the same. You just got to season it up. And sometimes I would marinate some mushrooms, put it in there too. And when I first had that, I was just so amazed. Because I went to a health expo, and I met a lady there who made raw food. And I think I'm going to have her come on the show one day, because she's an excellent chef. She had a restaurant called Raw Soul in New York City. She made raw pizza, raw lasagna. She made raw desserts, and they were excellent, especially the raw lasagna. And I was just amazed by it. I think she was there for the expo for 3 days. 3 days I went there, and I bought that lasagna. It was amazing. Matter of fact, I became friends with her and helped her out. I volunteered for her, and that's how I learned how to do a lot of things. I tell people, you got to volunteer. That's how you're going to learn things, especially for free. So, anybody have any questions?
Yes, Mike, Dr. J again. Quick question.
Yes.
Did you say, I heard you say soak the pumpkin seed. Are you talking about you're using the shell as well as you blending it, or do you take them out of the shell?
Oh, try to buy the ones without the shell.
Okay.
You know, the green.
Okay, cool.
You can do it with sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, also. But I like pumpkin seeds the best. So if you can make a smoothie, you can use any one of them. Like pumpkin seeds, I like it because I make a milk, and I like to drink it by itself. And I tell people, if you eat cereal, you can have it with cereal, oatmeal, whatever. But it's very nutritious. Good for your bones. You know, our body craves the minerals all the time. And a lot of times we just don't get it from our food, or we digest it, we don't absorb it because we have terrible digestion. So the milk is pretty much pre-digested, you know, so it should be easier for your body to digest it. Okay, so if those people who have made it before, you can call in and tell me your testimonials, or on the next show, let me know how they turn out. Or you can email me. I would love to hear your feedback on how it tastes. The store-bought stuff is junk. You put all these additives in it to make it stable and not settle. It's just, there's not much nuts in there. That's the shocking part I found out. So, anyone have any questions? Let me know if you're going to start your health club or you want to start one. Get some volunteers. You say, oh, I'm going to start a health club. I'm going to make my list. Church, family members, friends, co-worker. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are sick, so we're going to help them out as well as yourself. I had a young lady. She had terrible menstrual problems, and I told her, try this wheatgrass. I think it's going to make a difference for you. She tried it in maybe 3-4 days, and she said to me, oh, it was a month later, I'm sorry. Said to me, you know what? My menstrual period didn't bother me. I didn't have that terrible pain. It wasn't heavy. And that's because your body needs the nutrition to make blood so it can heal that part of the body. It's just so simple. It's the blood that heals. That's the only thing that heals. It's your blood. It just has to be good. So the nut milks, the wheatgrass, all those have a lot of minerals and enzymes. I like raw food because when you cook your food, you kill all these enzymes, and those enzymes are used to break down the food fast in your body. When you cook it, you kill those enzymes in the food. So your body has to use its own enzyme to break down that food. And your body enzyme is supposed to be used to repair your body. So you're robbing your body's enzyme to digest that food when you need your body enzyme to repair your body. So you're robbing from your body's enzyme to heal you to digest that food. So raw foods I like because it just digests so fast because it has the enzymes in there. So that's one thing that people need to learn. Your body needs raw food to digest the enzyme. Every food you can eat raw, but a lot of food you can't. And then probiotics and good bacteria helps break down the foods also. So when you cook it, you're killing a lot of that stuff that'll help you digest the food. So is anybody out there going to start their health club? Let me know. What do you think? What do you think what I said? What about your family? Do they need help? Your friends and family? Well, we need to do this for our community. Also pass it on to others. If you don't want to do it, maybe somebody else would like to do it. So, try the nut milk. I'm telling you, you're going to like it. I had missed milk. I used to love milk. But, I got away from it. But I love the pumpkin seed milk. I even made almond milk. I love that, too, when I first made that. It was so good, I had it for 6 months straight, made it every day. There's Brazil nut milk, which I like, too. A little more expensive, but I like it. But can make pecan milk. That's good, too. Very expensive. Walnut milk. That's good, too. Very expensive. But I suggest people when they go shopping, read the ingredients. Like I was looking at something on YouTube. Somebody made this simple cake with 3 ingredients. It looks so good. And I'm just, wow. If you go to the supermarket to look at a similar cake like that, look at the ingredients, they got 20 different ingredients in it. Now, see on YouTube, they got this one with 3 ingredients. And then there's a lot of stuff like that. You go look and like, wow, all these ingredients. So all those ingredients are used to preserve the food. And those preservatives your body can't digest. It takes a long time for your body to process it. A lot of times it's toxic. And they put these things in there just to make it have a long shelf life. They put things in there to make you addicted to it. Put a lot of sugar in there to make you addicted to it. And one of the sugars is corn syrup, which is very addictive. So you have to read your ingredients. You know, at the club, we're going to start doing that also. Just look at the ingredients, like, why are all these ingredients in here? And a lot of you can't even pronounce. A lot of them are fillers, so they can make more money. Put a lot of air in there and stuff that's really cheap. They put it in there just to make money. Especially when you see something that says new and improved. I said, oh, that means they're cheaping it, making it really cheap. So, you know, as a club, we're going to learn how to do this, read the ingredients and tell your testimonial what's going on. So, anybody have any questions? You need my info again? Come on, I know you guys, everybody have health problems. You know, a lot of people are young, they think, oh, I'm okay. You're at an age. So, you know, one thing I want to say, when I actually went raw food diet, I was at my lowest, I would say, like health. I had terrible allergies. I had it twice a year. It would last a little over 6 months. So when I go to school, when I was in grade school, my nose would be running, my eyes would be itching, and it was just hard to study and concentrate. Blowing my nose would run like water. So I got older, I said, you know, I got to do something about this. I took all these allergy pills. It will work for like half hour, and I got to keep taking it over and over. And I'm like, I'm poisoning myself taking this over and over. So when I went raw, I said, well, I'm going to do this. So I started eating salads. I'm like, you know what? I can't just eat salads. So I get more creative. So I started making, my favorite was spinach. And I noticed I used to like put a lot of things in my salads. And I said, well, if I do that, it's going to get very expensive. I said, well, no, I'm going to put 3 or 4 things in it the most. So that worked out really good. So I ate salads for about 3 months, probably less than 3 months. And people started telling me things about my skin, and I didn't see it. My eyes, I'm like, oh, your eyes are beautiful. Your eyes are so clear. The white part is so clear. Oh, your skin is blue, beautiful. You look like those Muslim guys, and I just couldn't see it. But other people saw it. Even strangers were telling me. And then I remember one day I went to the subway station in New York City, and that year was almost like 100 degrees. So when you go on the subway, it's like 130. And everybody had towels and tissue wiping their face except me. I didn't notice. You know, I felt warm, but I wasn't sweating. The strangers would come like, excuse me, sir, why are you not sweating? I'm like, you know, I don't know. So, only thing I noticed that I lost weight, which I didn't like. So I said, you know what, let me go to a nutritionist so he can explain what's going on with me. So I went to a nutritionist, told him what was going on. He said, what were you eating? I'm like, salads. I'm like, what kind of salads? Like spinach. He said, well, how much are you eating? I said, I ate it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he said, wow. He said, that's why your skin looks so good. That's why people were talking about your eyes. And one of the things I noticed, Well, I really went to him because I had a huge bowel movement. Did not feel it at all until I looked at it. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even feel that. It was so huge. And the nutritionist said that's the way it was all supposed to go. You're not supposed to feel it, and it's supposed to be sort of on the large side. He said, that's what happened to you. He said, all that green stuff was nothing but liquid oxygen cleaning you out. I'm like, oh, I never looked at it that way. So when I stopped that diet, within, after 2 years, my allergies came back. And I was shocked about that. I'm like, oh, my allergies went away for 2 years. And then I didn't continue that diet. People stopped talking about my eyes and my skin. I'm like, wow, that really works. So I have a challenge at trying to start it again, but I will do it again. And I figure, let me start a health club. We can all do it together. So come on, everybody. I know you have questions out there. We're going to start this health club. I'll give you that pumpkin seed recipe again, pumpkin seed milk. 1 cup of pumpkin seeds, raw, unshelled, unsalted, not roasted, preferably organic. Soak it overnight in spring water or distilled water. Put a little sea salt in it, just a little bit. Let it soak overnight. In the morning, rinse it. Put it in a blender. You take 4 cups of water. Take 1 cup at a time. Put it in the blender. Blend it to become a paste. Then you add the rest of the water. Blend it up. If you want to make a smoothie, you could just use that to make a smoothie. Take a cupful out or 2 cups. Put your fruit or banana or whatever wants to make your smoothie, blend it up, and you got your pumpkin seed milk smoothie. And if you want to make really fine milk, I would strain it, and you get more like a milk. Because if you don't strain it, you get like a little bit of sediment. But sometimes I like to drink it like a milk. And also, when you strain it, you're going to get a pulp. Save that pulp, put it in the freezer. Whenever you make another smoothie, you can put that pulp in there. So you will have no waste. So my next show, I hope you all can be on it. I want to find out from everyone, if you make it, how do you taste? Share with other people, how do they like it? Pass, this on to other people that you know. So if you're interested in a health club, and we can do this. I'm telling you, we can. We're going to help build our community up. This is what we have to do. We can't depend on other people. We got to join together. So we got 20 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions?
This is Adrian. I just want to thank you for sharing that. I probably will try it sometime between now and next time.
Didn't I tell you before?
Yeah, you told me, and I decided then that I wanted to try it.
Okay.
But I have to get.
You got the recipe, right?
I've got it in my head. It's not always the best place for it to be, but if I have any questions, I know how to ask you.
Okay. Good. It's very, very, very nutritious. Like I tell people, the ones in the store, I know comparison. The ones in the store last for, I don't know how long, but I know it's more than 30 days. Like if you make it yourself, it's only going to last 3 to 4 days because it's so nutritious. Anything that's very nutritious, bacteria and stuff love that, and they would go towards it. Something that's not very nutritious, it means they have a lot of preservatives in it.
I asked this before offline, but I'm going to ask it again. If I make it and freeze part of it, did you say that it loses nutritional value or it does not? when I
You
freeze it?
can use a little, but it will still be more nutritious than the one you can buy in the store.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to freeze it, or I'll make a big batch, and I'll freeze it, or like I'll make a smoothie, and I'll freeze them into little ice cubes, so that way there's no waste.
Okay.
So you're going to start your health club?
I'm thinking about it. I'm leaning
Right.
in towards it.
Yeah, just, I tell people, just write people's names down and then go to the list and see who you think is a good person. If you go to church, start one with the church or friends or family. It's not that hard. We all know somebody that's sick. So we're only helping each other out, and we're learning, and we're helping the community. Like I look in our community, there's so many dialysis places popping up, urgent care popping up. I'm like, wow.
Instead of health food places popping up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I said the wheatgrass, I didn't like running to the store all the time. Now I have it in my freezer. It's perfect for me. I don't have to run out anymore. I have no excuse. I could take it because it's at home. So, anybody else have any questions? So you all telling me that y'all are healthy? That's what it sounds like. Or just say hi. Tell me you like what you hear.
I will say hi, Michael. How are you? This is Yvonne.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I am very good. Again, thank you for sharing very valuable information. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of benefits in seeds. That is how everything comes out from the seed, grows. And you just have to be mindful. And for people who are eating seeds, like just the sunflower seeds and the pumpkin seeds, you want to make sure you chew them thoroughly. Chew them almost like you're trying to make them butter, like peanut butter, almond butter, because if they're not chewed properly, they can lodge in your intestine. So as we want to be as healthy as possible, we want it not only because you don't want them to lodge into your intestines, but you want to get the full flavor. Don't be in a hurry to swallow. Some people put food in their mouth, they go, swallow. And there's no way to taste it, whether it's cooked or raw. But the more you chew it and understand it and direct it to where you want it to go in your body, how you want it to treat your body, then that brings on a new kind of thoughtfulness for your food and for the end result of it. So I just say that about seeds because that is very important, that you chew all of your food thoroughly. And from what I'm understanding, you aren't supposed to stand while you're eating because your muscles are too constricted. And we do it all the time, some people. But your muscles are so constricted that the process that your body is supposed to go through while digesting your food is a little bit more difficult because those muscles are being used to hold you up. So just kind of remember, our bodies are just one complete machine. One complete machine. So what they say, so you think it shall be? Of course. You think you want to walk, but then you move your feet. So from head to toe, our body is a complete machine. So communication, information, and food is communication. Right, Michael? Food is communication to the body. Go ahead, Michael.
Well, food can make you feel good, especially if you can digest it really good. And especially for older people. We're getting all older, so we need to help our body. We can't neglect it like when we were young, And that's why I like soak the seeds, because it's more digestible. And I blend it. And also with the seeds and the nuts, I make something called sunflower seed pate. It almost looks like I can't say it's a dip, but if anybody know what a pate, it may look like a tuna fish consistency. I usually use that for my salad as a meat. Like I make a vegan carrot tuna salad. And I'm going to show you how to do those things. You listen to the show, I'm going to give you like simple recipes like the pumpkin seed milk. It's so easy to make. Like pate, it's so easy to make. You can put it on crackers. That's my meat for me and my salad. People say, oh, that looks like meat. I'm like, no, that's pumpkin seeds. Or that's sunflower seeds. Or that's almonds. They're very high in protein, a lot of minerals, easy digestible, no preservatives. So anything that's easy digestible is really good for your body. It has its own enzymes, so it breaks down itself in your body. Your body don't have to use its own enzymes to break down that food. I think that's one of the biggest problems. People eat too much cooked foods, so they're robbing their body of their natural enzymes to heal itself. So you eat raw food. That's why I like raw food, because you really notice the difference. I got a lot of energy. I kept going, and I felt great, and the food digests so fast. I wasn't as hungry. I got to go a period of time without eating. I didn't even have to snack. So that's the great thing I like about raw food. So I hope you guys can start your health club so we can do this. So simple. You just get on the phone and talk. You don't have to go across town to go to some meeting. This is the easiest, And I don't know too many things out there that's like this, that teach you over the phone or over the internet. So, got to do this, So I'm going to give my information out again. My email is Mike, mailbox 1, number 1, at yahoo.com. Text number 929-273-1481. Email me or text me anytime. Especially about the health club. We need to do this. Have any questions about the wheatgrass? That's my medicine. It's good for animals too. It's excellent for animals. I have a friend who says, Mike, my dogs just eat that wheatgrass up. I said, dogs are tuned to things like that. What's nutritious to them? The Beamer, the foot detox in the New York area? Yes.
I hear you keep going on with the health club. I thought that
Yes.
was a vision that God had given unto you, but kind of give us a synopsis of what are you looking to do with that? When you're saying, does everyone want to start their own health club? Tell us your vision for that, because you was birthing that from this particular podcast, and so I would like to know more, because I hear you asking for churches and people to start their own.
Okay.
Just give me a quick synopsis for how you're trying to do this.
Okay, good question. Several, like you could take a health club meeting. If you join this meeting every month, that can be it. But I would like people to have their own, because people who have health challenges. Get them involved. Like, say, for instance, you have 3 people. And you say, okay, 3 family members. You say, okay, we're going to, learn, things like we're going to go on health challenges, develop recipes. You can all make them. You can all try them out from all 3 of you. You can expand it, get more people involved. And, of course, I'll be there to help. We can set up a date and time, or maybe come visit you if you're in the local area. So basically, I want you guys to start your own club, because I may not always be here. At least I started off, and we got you guys to start it off. I may not want to do this anymore. but I doubt that. But to get you started so you can spread it, tell other people, oh, you can do the same thing with your other friends and family. Do it with your kids. So I just want to expand it. But just by coming listening to something like this is great also. And also you can ask questions, But the most important thing is let people know about the wheatgrass and show them how to make food. That's the number one thing people need to learn how to do is to make their own food, more nutritious food. And that's the number one reason why we get sick, because we eat terrible food. The foods I'm going to show you how to do is simple. Pumpkin seed milk, simple. You can have your kids do that. You can teach anybody that. Everybody learn how to make this pumpkin seed milk. They all said, oh, it tastes really good. It tastes like milk. Some people can't even drink regular milk. But that's my vision. I hope I answered your question, but I want to expand it where I don't have to be there, but still we'll be connected. If you're starting your own, like I teach you something, and you teach the other people in your group how to do it. So I hope I answered your question.
No, you actually did. And something else that I snatched from what you were saying about the pumpkin seed and things. I don't know if I shared with you. I have a brand new granddaughter. She was just born on the 24th of February, and
congratulations.
Thank you much. And she was having a bit of little complications with feeding, and her mother's breast milk was limited, and so she was doing maybe 2 ounces at a time, and she was drying up. So, of course, I was giving her some herbs to help her to produce more breast milk. But
yes, she should drink the pumpkin seed milk. Don't give it to the baby. She should drink the pumpkin seed. All the almond milk, you can do the same way. Pumpkin seed milk, sesame seed milk is very good. Sunflower seed milk is very nutritious.
Mm-hmm.
But she has to drink it.
Right.
And also the wheatgrass would be great for her too.
Okay. Good, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Michael, this is Adrian again. I just want to ask this question. And thank you for asking that question, sir, because that's something that I was thinking about, but I didn't come out and ask the question. And I was thinking that within my church, I can probably start a ministry of, healthy eating, and starting with some of your suggestions, and you mentioned that you can come out sometime, because I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing and doing the right thing, because I don't have notes to go by. So if I were to do something like that, it would probably start what month is this? This is
just in the beginning of April.
Okay, April. Maybe start in May, and spend the rest of this month, preparing things and how I would do it in advertising and getting a group together,
Okay, that sounds great.
Because I love the idea that it's on the phone, being that I don't drive, and a sharing of information,
Yeah, and I also do health parties, which is very successful. Like I had a family, they wanted to do a health party. I think it was like 10 people there. I brought them food and bought the food for them. They were just so amazed. Mm-hmm. Every time they said, well, we want that food. And I just got to laugh. And okay, we want some bean retrievers. They paid me to do that. Oh, we want some foot detox. Okay, they paid me to do that. And then we talk about health and things, and it was really great.
Okay.
So that's where the power is in the group. That's how we're going to help our community.
Right. And people, and I'm saying to people in my church, because they've been around me for the past year, and they saw how my weight loss have done, and how my attitude is better. I feel better. I have more energy. I'm not where I want to be yet, but they see the process, and they ask, well, how did you do it? You know, and it wasn't hard. You know, once I put my mind to it, you know, I just went forward with it. You know.
And sis, you know, to piggyback on what you just said, that's so important because your testimony, people who know you, they're going to see that what you are doing have worked. So then you become a living testimony so that people can say, hey, this happened to so-and-so, so why not me? I was moderator over about 150 to 175 different churches. My denomination is Baptist, so I was over the New York Missionary Baptist Association. One of the things that I stressed, and so this is I got a light bulb as Mike was talking, was each church needs to have a health ministry.
Right.
Get one person to become a liaison for that particular church, and then that person would be responsible for getting people like Mike to come out and talk about the wheatgrass and the Bema. That Bema is amazing. The wheatgrass is amazing. I've done the foot detox. It's amazing. So I happen to know that all of these things work. I'm a master herbalist. We believe in reaching out and touching our communities because on Sunday, or some folk are Saturday worshipers, you know, what winds up happening, the sickest place in our community is our church, because you'll have 100 or 200 people in the church on 12 different medications.
Yes.
And these are ones that need this information.
I used to be one of them, and I'm not even a senior.
Amen. Amen.
I used to say, I'm too young to be on all this medication.
That's the truth.
When people told me, like, with the wheatgrass, they said, oh, can I take this with my medication? And I said, you know, wheatgrass is a food, not a medication. I said, if that medication you take, the doctor would tell you certain things you can't eat. But it's a food, so it's safe. You know. So people, I said, you can even put it in your skin if you don't want to take it. If your skin is going to absorb it too. But I would suggest drink it. You know. But yeah, like, it's all about the community. You know, we see what's going on in our community, our health. You can just look at people and like, wow, people are always tired. I have a guy that's 85. He loves my wheatgrass. He says, Michael, my back feel good, my knees feel good. And he would tell me things that's going on. I said, you know, if people have surgery, I tell them you must take the wheatgrass because in surgery, they look at your blood too. But sometimes they can say, we can't do the surgery because your blood is so bad. They would never used to tell you your blood is so bad. They would just tell you, we can't do it. Like when I had surgery, I took a lot of wheatgrass, and after the surgery, I woke up, they said, oh, we got this pain pump next to your bed. You're going to be in a lot of pain. So just pump it. I'm like, okay. They came, checked, got me at the end of the day. They said, you didn't use your pump at all. I'm like, oh, I wasn't in any terrible pain. I'm like, they said, oh. But they actually took it away. And then maybe 3 days later, I had to go to the doctor for a checkup. So he took me to the doctor. He said to me, wow. I'm like, what? He said, you look actually like somebody who had surgery 2 days ago. I'm like, oh, that's because of the wheatgrass. It's a blood builder, health builder for the body. It's all about the blood. That's what's going to heal you. So we're almost ending the show. So anybody have any questions before I get to the show?
Michael?
Yes.
Sanford Williams. Thank you for what you're doing for the community, brother. And that's just what I wanted to say. I listened to this, and it's powerful, and looking forward to your next edition. So you stay safe, and peace and blessings to you, brother.
Yes. Tell people, you know anybody sick, have them just come on the show. That's fine.
That's most of us. especially on that.
That's right.
So you're only helping out your community when you do stuff like that. So I'm happy to hear people say things like that. But thank you.
I wanted to know, I wanted to say to Dr. J, I wanted to speak to him off the air. His number appears, so I just wanted to make sure that it's okay to call him based on this.
Yeah, it'd be okay to call.
Okay, thank you.
You have my information if you can't get in contact with me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
No, very informative.
Oh, thank you. So I know people are going to start that list. Who can I get to join in my health club? Oh, let me get my cousin. They've been pretty sick. Let me get my aunt. They're pretty sick. All you have to do is call up. What's simpler than that? You ain't have to go all the way across town. You know. So that said, if anybody has no more questions, I'm going to give my info out again. Mike, mailbox.
Great show, younger man.
Hello. Got a question?
Comment. Great show, younger man.
Oh, how you doing? You have a question?
Great show, younger man.
He said great show.
Oh, thank you. I know who it is. They're driving in the car, so that's why I can't hear them too well. So, Mr. Busy Man. But thank you. So I'm going to get my info out again. Mike Mailbox 1 at yahoo.com. My text number is 929-273-1481. And make out your list, and I hope you people got the recipe down. And also, I forgot to tell people, if anybody ordered the wheatgrass or want to order it, text me. And when they order it, they get a free half-hour consultation with me over the phone. Talk things like, what's your health condition, and want to know more about the wheatgrass. So, a lot of people don't know much about the wheatgrass. I tell people, look online, look on YouTube. They can tell you more than I can tell you. Look up Beamer, Bemer. A lot of videos on YouTube tell you more than I can tell you. And the foot detox testimonial. And that's all what I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and look forward to you guys on the next show. So that said, good night, everyone. Thank you.
Michael.
Yes.
If I give you my email address, can you send me the recipe?
Oh, sure.
Okay. You ready?
Hold on. Yes.
A as in apple, C as in cat, A as in apple, N as in Nancy, T as in tiger, 43@gmail.com.
43@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll probably send that out in the next 10 minutes.
Okay. It's no rush. Like I said, I'm going to spend the rest of this